Good morning, my name is Dan Krause, and I am running for the school board. This time there's 3 of us running. There will be 4 people on the ballot. I'm not sure if everybody's heard, but the 4th person has dropped out. So Pam Hughes will be on the ballot, but she's announced that she's moving away. So there's 3 of us running for 2 seats. So you can vote for 2. Please don't vote for Pam Hughes just because she's not going to be doing the job. Why do I want to run for school board? Well, I like to be involved in the community. I've been a member of the chamber off and on since I started my business here in 2004. Off and on because I've been called away a couple times in the military since then. But I've also been a member of the Rotary Club since 2008, and I like to be involved in the community. I've got 2 kids in the Oregon schools. My daughter is in the 2nd grade, and my son is in the 8th grade. So I'm going to have kids in the Oregon schools at least 10 years from now. And I believe that wherever your kids are, that's where your heart is. So I'm looking for the long term in Oregon schools, making sure that everything works out for my kids and everyone else's kids. And it really is all about the kids. The thing that really got me looking at the Oregon School District was all of the craziness that was happening a couple of years ago. I was at Fort Riley in Kansas, and my son was having a lot of problems in school, naturally, because his dad had to be away, and he was in 5th grade, and you don't understand everything when you're in 5th grade, and it's not easy for the family. So he was having problems in school. He was transitioning from a homeschool environment to the public school environment, and his teacher was just wonderful. She was working with him. She was keeping us up to date by email, and she just put in a lot of extra time and effort because of our kid, and I was very grateful for that. And then this whole thing with Act 10 blew up, and teachers were demonstrating at the Capitol, and everybody was talking about it, and I was in Kansas. So I couldn't be involved, but I did pay close attention on the news. There were parent-teacher conferences, and my wife went in and talked to Nate's teacher, and I couldn't be there. I was out of state, but what she told me just really touched me. She was talking to Nate's teacher, and they went through the whole thing, and then at the end of the meeting she just reached across the table and touched Nate's teacher on the arm and said, "We're really supporting you with all that you're going through." Because we supported them in their efforts to keep their rights and to feel empowered. And what happened then was the teacher just broke down. She started crying, and I thought, it's really sad case when the teachers feel so put upon or so under pressure that just a little support will set them off. So that's what got me starting to focus on the school board. And as soon as I got back, I started going to school board meetings and getting into knowing what's going on. I spoke in front of the school board asking for a letter denouncing the 2-year-ago budget, which really cut schools and forced us to cut teachers' benefit and pay by 6%. Teachers took a huge cut just to balance the school budget. And so I had asked the board, along with other people, can you just write the legislature and tell the legislature and the governor that this is hurting our kids? And eventually they wrote a letter, but I thought it was very wishy-washy, and it didn't do justice to the damage that was happening to our schools. Now, I've got to say that in the last year since that letter was written, a new letter was just recently written, and if any of you had a chance to read it, our school board really took it to the legislature and saying this proposed budget is hurting our kids. They got the message, I believe. The new letter is really stating, I think, what is going on, that it's an attack on our schools. So that's one of the big issues that we really need to work on, is the state The governor's budget and the legislature seem to be devaluing the schools. They're taking money out of the schools. They're not allowing the schools the freedom to pay the teachers what we want to pay the teachers. They put a cap on that, so you have to go to a referendum if you want to pay the teachers any more than whatever this base salary is, and that's statewide. We've got a much more competitive area here for teachers. More teachers want to teach here. It's harder to get teachers when you're competing with the Madison School District, Wanakee, Stoughton, Verona. You've got to pay them more. So the state budgets aren't helping us. That's one thing. So we've got really difficult budget questions to answer. Another thing that's gone on that I would like a chance to deal with is the relationship between the teachers and the school board, I think, is in disarray. And that's, I think, a direct result of Act 10 a couple of years ago, where teachers' unions were stripped of their bargaining power. So what was used to happen, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, though it hasn't been good. What used to happen is the teachers and the school board would bargain. They would go head to head, and each of them had power, so it was a nice balance. Sometimes the power struggles are good, just like the Cold War kept things peaceful throughout the world, because you had two powers that worked it out, and finally you had peace. Now you take the power away from one, and you've got to come up with a new system, otherwise the thing falls apart. And right now it's in disarray. We need to find a new way for the teachers and the other school employees to deal with the school board regarding pay, benefits, and working conditions, and it hasn't been done yet. The school board has taken it upon themselves to keep all the power and give out whatever pay and working conditions they want to. Now, it hasn't been awful for the teachers. I think the teachers have been treated not too bad. In fact, the school board this year is offering the teachers the entire cap. They said, well, everything that we can give you in pay, we want to give you. That's what the school board has said. That's fair. It sounds like a great deal. The teachers are asking for some things that don't have a price tag on it. And so that's what's causing the friction. The teachers want something in their contracts called just cause, which would say that the school board would not be able to fire a teacher without just cause, without a good reason. Last year, the school board took up this specific question, and they denied just cause in the handbook. So those are some things that I would like to work on. And I do appreciate your time and attention this morning, and I ask for your vote for 3 years on the school board. Thank you.